Andrey Rublev winning his first ever Master 1000s title. A fan favorite, though. I don't know how much tennis media you consume, but just one of the most impossible to not love people, Andrey. Um, he's been in the finals twice, losing to Tsitsipas at Monte Carlo and Zverev at the Cincinnati Open. He has a run through, plays Holger Rune in the finals. It goes 3 sets, and he gets it done. It was a really interesting match in that it mostly looked like a 25-year-old versus a 19-year-old. And it was mental poise that came through for Rublev. But when I tell you that Rune was the player with the lower floor, the higher ceiling, and the player who had won a 1000 Masters title before, that kind of goes against that narrative. So the tell on Rublev, or the move on Rublev, is you attack that second serve. And that's what Rune did early. Right, the first second serve he got a chance at, he took a massive crack at, and Rublev had like the return you get once a match on that, but it set the tone, caused some double faults early, and gave Rune an advantage in a tight first set. They exchanged a break, but Rune was just a little bit better. The serve was bigger. His drop shot was really tight, no more in the first set. Early showing of the line painting that he was able to do throughout the match. So at 5-5, when he went up 6-5, the pressure on Rublev got to him a little too much, and he had some errors at 30-30 that gave Rune that first set. But Rublev came right out firing. You had seen a little hint of it in the first set, but Rune did not want to play long rallies. The physicality had already taken a toll. He played late in the night before at this Masters 1000. You played Saturday and the Sunday, unlike some where you get a day in between. I think that was pretty clear that Rune was struggling physically. Just a lot of shots and scenarios where he just chose to go for it. Like, I'm either going to win or lose the rally on this shot. And choosing it at suboptimal timing meant he lost it a lot more often than not. So Rublev broke early, was up 2-0, almost got a double break there. Rune fought it off, broke right back, but then Rublev again pulled ahead. He ended up taking that set 6-2 in like 30, 40 minutes. Really easy. It was the third set where it got really tight, interesting, and became like one level below an instant classic, I'd say. Rublev has a good first return game. He returned pretty well all match, honestly. Like, Rune has a really great first serve. But Rublev was able to deal with it. Being on clay probably helps with that a little. But he had a break chance right in the opening game of the match. Rune, more credit to him, he played pretty well on most of the break points he had to defend. He was able to come up with the big serve, come up with big shots. I was a little smarter on his selection than average throughout the match, I'd say. So after defending those and holding, he was able to just unlock the best playing he probably had all match in his returning. He was attacking that second serve all match, but again, the shot selection wasn't really there, going for a little too much with not quite enough, and losing some points where he could maybe get half a step of an edge and then build the point, but he was just going for it, hitting net, hitting wide. But this first service game of Rublev in the third set, it didn't matter if it was a first serve, a second serve, especially when we got to the 30-30, the deuce, Rune was just lights out returning. And it really wasn't even Rublev's fault that Rune was just so good. So he gets up a break. Rublev holds his next one, but then he goes down, I think, 15-40. At 4-1, it's basically match point. If Rune would have been serving for the match on the next game, if Rublev had lost, but he did a really steady job. As well as Rune played at times, it was pretty clear that it was in Rublev's advantage to just keep putting the ball in, keep putting it deep, make these rallies go long. And I don't know if it was patience. Rune didn't say anything about an injury, the humidity. He did have to consume electrolytes at one point. he just didn't have a lot of answers. It's also on clay, so like his big hitting wasn't as effective to just totally take over points consistently. It was great mental poise by Rublev, and we'll get back to that, to just like play those shots right in that crucial section, hold his serve, and then you saw that got to Rune. Again, I'll circle back to him being 19 years old. He has two double faults in this game, and they both like Kyrgios-esque in how he just went for it on those second serves. Like that's probably, well, there's another part he might regret even more, but that's like really where he got behind. Like, put the ball in play and give yourself a chance. You're up a break. You don't need to go for anything. You just need to hold your serve. I don't know why you're trying to put it in like 180 kilometers an hour on your second serve. But the two double faults give Rublev enough space, and he gets the break back. So it goes all the way to 5-5, and then right at 0-0 on his serve, the first real like just squander right at the net for Rune, and he misses that easy smash. You know the feeling, like all the time in the world, you're right at the net, you wind it up, and somehow the ball just goes into the net. And then like that, it wasn't happening all match. That wasn't a trend. But then the very next point, he has a great serve, two great hits. Rublev, it's all he can do to just get the ball in the court. He has a little depth on it. And Rune goes for a smash. Like he's moving backwards. He's farther back from the net than he was on that previous one he missed. And I don't know why he went for it, like knowing what had just happened. But it wasn't very surprising that he hits the net. And that puts a lot of pressure. Love 30 is enough space that Rublev is able to get it to 30-40. And then Rune goes for a really slow first serve, misses it, and then double faults on a slow second serve attempt, 147 kilometers an hour. I found the clip to make sure. But that double fault gives Rublev a chance to serve for the match. And you can kind of tell Rune's just out of gas. Rublev goes up 40-love, Rune gets one back, and Rublev gets the ace. I only cried a little when Andrey cried. He talked about how he's been in this situation before, and that's why he won. How a year ago he wouldn't have the mental strength and toughness all through that third set. After going down a break, he was just thinking like, I just have to hang in there. I just have to give myself one chance, or like, I just have to hope that there's one chance. I just have to stay with it until I can maybe get that chance. And it was amazing. This next gen, as it's been described, of players of Zverev, Medvedev, Tsitsipas, Rublev, Felix is among them, have grown up in the shadows of the big three. And it's going to be so interesting to see what the era of tennis looks like once that era is officially over. But to see them taking steps forward at their own pace, and none the happier to see it for than Andrey Rublev. So one more time, congratulations. And that was the sporting moment of the week for sure for me. So congrats.